Hello everyone. Welcome to the live streaming of the kickoff meeting of Stephen Mixture of Experts. So, in this meeting, I'm going to share with you some initial ideas of this live streaming podcast and also um, some initial ideas. So, basically, what is Stephen Mixture of Experts or MOE? It is a live podcast show which inspired by IBM's MOE podcast. If you ever checked the IBM MOE show, usually they gather different experts like AI researcher, AI engineer, or cybersecurity experts to share insights about the latest AI news and AI industry development. So I'm going to do a similar show, but I would try to make it a live streaming show. So you can join via like Luma platform and so on. So as I said, the inspiration was largely from the IBM mixture of experts. It was a weekly AI news podcast. But in my podcast, I will not only cover news. It will generally depend on the ideas of the guests invited. So we are going to have more than just a news discussion. So what did they do in the IBM mixture of experts? They gathered the experts as a panel or different panels to discuss cutting edge AI topics, model innovation, industry breakthroughs, and the technology trends. And about my show, I'm going to do, I hopefully, I would try to make all the shows as live streaming so we can interact with the audience in real time. But in case there are some other arrangements, we might record it and then share with the audience in a later time. But initial idea was to do live streaming. Um, so beside the key features like live streaming, interactive chat, we are going to have 3 to 5 experts per session, hopefully, to discuss diverse topics from different perspectives. So, for the first panel, I wish to have like the professor uh, from UK, who is working on the robotics to join the panel, and maybe also his students and in the future also the professors from San Francisco, from United States, and even from China. We can organize different panels to discuss different technology implementation in the industry, like how the robotics is utilized in manufacturing scenarios, and we can have diverse discussions. Because last time I was talking to other experts, we found that there are very few discussions about the technology implementation. Um, the whole it's like not only about research or news, but also about the real implementation part. So we are going to like link all the parts and to share the insights together, and it will be topic driven. Of course, we also cover AI breakthroughs, research, industry trends. But like in the panel, we are going to also have some founders, AI engineers, and also we want to hear how are their startups doing, what are the challenges they are facing, and how can we convert the technology know-how from the university to the general public, like to the startup, and to convert it to real product to solve the real problem more easily. So we are going to talk like every touch points of the AI industry supply chain. And also we are going to build up the community. There is no boundary about this community, and the most important part is to gather researchers, entrepreneurs, and also the different engineers and so on. So we're trying to do this. Um, like I said before, real-time chats and live demos, I think, are even more interesting than just talking about some information. Because now we are in the era of information explosion, so we can get different information from different channels, like in any minutes. And different people would like to see like the news or or listen to the podcast and so on. But in our case, we do not only discuss about the information in itself. We are going to try to do some real-time chats, and also show some live demos, and also uh, we will try to show something different which are not seen in the other shows. And of course, it will also be multi-language. So at this moment, I think I'm going to cover Chinese, English, and in the future, hopefully, we can also cover some Italian contents. But that is in a uh, less priority status now. Yeah. So as you can see, at first we Google Meet. So we use the Google Meet platform because it is very seamlessly linked to Luma platform. And I think now, like in San Francisco, everybody is using Luma to join the online show, live show, and so on. But and there are also other options like Zoom and so on. But for me, at the moment, Google Meet is the best option. Of course, we can also explore like YouTube streaming. Yeah, we can also explore that. But to make streaming feed to different platform, it always depends on the hardware we have. So we are going to explore that. But in the very beginning, I think Google Meet is the best platform. I can also record the screen and also show you the discussions later. Yeah, one more thing about the live chat. If we are doing the Google Meet, I think everybody can raise a hand, ask a question in real time. Uh, if that's not feasible, we are also going to consider some other chat platform to gather the different questions. Yeah. So this is a comparison table about the difference between IBM A Mixture of Experts and the Stephen MOE. Yeah, so there are some difference, but and ideally, we're going to share with you more insights and and a better experience about joining the show or watching the show. Yeah, as you can see, this is the tech stack at the moment. Of course, as the show grows up, I think it is also a startup project. We are going to find proper sponsorship and also develop this show to make it more sustainable. And in the next stage, we can also work on other different tech stacks to actually make it cover more audience. Yeah. So today is phase one. I have kicked off the first test meeting, and in phase two, we are going to have the first panel. I'm going to try my best to invite the robotics professor to join the show. And in the final stage, the third stage, we are going to formally launch the show, and I hope that more experts, researchers, engineers, entrepreneurs can join, and also investors. I missed this point. Also, investors to join the show. Let's discuss what's happening in AI and show some demos, show different interactions with the audience. Okay, the contact information here is not accurate. Please ignore it for the moment. You can always find me via my email and the different channels. All my friends and all my fans know where to find me, and also LinkedIn. All right. This is a brief introduction of the show. So, just to give you a general idea what I'm talking about. For example, this is one of the ways to showcase what we are discussing. So basically, here I created a embodied AI research explorer. So in this explorer, for example, we can in this session, in the current panel about the robotics AI and what is going on in the market of embodied AI, we can uh, gather some research papers, discuss about the research paper, either discuss about what is happening in the research community, what is getting better, what is not, and also we can check the original paper or see the details and so on. Uh, so this is about research. Then about the robotics AI, about the embodied AI, we can also check the different companies. So uh, basically, I think the best examples are always the big companies, which we can analyze um, their history and how they get to the current status, and also we can learn from the past experience. Besides that, we can also add some startups and to see their longevity. I think longevity is a quite important metrics to evaluate the startup, because most of the time, and especially in the AI era, I think, as far as I know, some of the startup cannot survive for 2 or 3 years. There may be some problems, there may be some obstacles, and so on. We can analyze both the successful cases and also the unsuccessful cases. Yeah, so we can offer the audience some different perspectives. And of course, if we can explore like a KYC report style, is like because I'm from the financial industry, we can just analyze this company from a financial industry point of view, and also we can also invite some VC and PE friends to see if such analysis makes sense. And for example, if someone is willing to put their project uh, to the audience, we can discuss and have some live discussions about whether an investor will invest in the startup or not. That could be also a very interesting topic. Then about this one data sets is about the papers, because some of the research projects is linked to the data sets. And of course, sometimes it can also link to the companies, but most of the companies, I think they don't publicly share their training assets, right? Like the data sets, like some private models and so on. But data is always super important for the large language model training and for the general AI community, because it's like the moat of every company is in the data, in the private data, in the data that's owned by the company. That's the biggest advantage they could have. And we can also discuss about some connections. Like here we have a knowledge graph. It's about so basically like the papers and the companies I demonstrated in here are some initial results I get from the internet. So we build some knowledge graph to show that, for example, about the robot manipulation. We have some papers linked to it. We can discuss about papers, or we discuss about some concepts and so on. For example, like it is related to physical intelligence. We can also zoom in or zoom out on different topics to discuss. Yeah, and of course we can also discuss about some data, not only about this. For example, we can also discuss something like the scaling law and the different data that we see on the research community. I think Twitter X is most vibrant place where we can see a lot of graphs, a lot of data and analytics, and to see how the research is going on. Um, Besides that, we can also check, for example, now I have some papers from the robotics, either gathered by me or suggested by the professors, by the researchers, by the AI engineers, and we can take a look at what are the statistics about these papers. What are the main research directions, right? So about the AI engineers, we can also talk about, for example, the Google Agents SDK and so on. There are many topics we can discuss about web coding, about software engineering, and how we can make a better AI product and so on. So yeah, I think we can have different topics, but in general, we're going to talk about the AI, entrepreneurship, business, and sometimes even about funding. But in essence, I think the main drive or the main purpose is to showcase how to make an AI idea to AI product. Okay. For sure, I welcome all kinds of suggestions and opinions. So do not hesitate to reach me via email, via my social media accounts. So just drop me in any message whenever you have some suggestions. So until now, I think I have already introduced two things. The first one is about the show, about my Steven Mixture of Experts show. The second thing is a quick demo about what we might discuss in one session. Of course, in some sessions, we may not be so technical. In the other sessions, we may be a bit more technical or very specific. But in the end, I just wish the takeaway is easy to digest and could be insightful and useful for you to explore more in the AI world. So thank you for your attention, and I'm going to close up this session or kickoff session. And please stay tuned in my Luma channel and also on my social media platforms. Okay, thank you for your attention. See you next time. Bye bye.